Yo, what's good, y'all? In today's video, I believe this is part 4 of beginner scripting tutorials. I am like 100% sure. Yeah, this is part 4. Okay. So in today's video, as you can see by the title, we're gonna be covering remote events. Some of you may have heard of remote events, some of you may not. Remote events is pretty much how you communicate between local and server scripts and stuff like that. Pretty much it's how a player one player communicates to the server, or the server communicates to one player, or the server communicates to all players. That's pretty much how it works. That's pretty much the 3 different ways that remote events are utilized. Remote events are literally essential. You're gonna need remote events. It may seem a little complicated for some at first. It confused the shit out of me for like a straight month. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took me a minute to understand, but when you understand, it's extremely easy and they're extremely useful. So I would suggest putting a lot of time into it. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, like I said, remote events is how you communicate, right? It's like making a phone call with the other side, I guess you could say, because there are 2 sides in a Roblox server, the client and the server side. So it's like you're making a phone call between both sides, right? So you put remote events. You could put remote events in multiple places, but usually when people put remote events will be replicated storage. Hence why frequently used it says remote event, right? We're not going to be talking about remote functions. We're going to talk about remote events, just to clarify. But yeah, so we can insert a remote event in replicated storage, right? We'll say, let's see. I think, what do we want if something only happens on a client? Well, it doesn't have to be client only. It could just be an example. Yeah, I'll just show you guys an example of like how it communicates rather than trying to show you guys like literally clients, like something client only happening. Okay, so let's say we'll call this join event, right? We'll have it like this, right? We'll have it like this. What? No. Okay. I'll show you guys the 3 different ways to use our remote event, right? The way I'm going to utilize this, right, is I'm going to do it so when a player joins, my first example is going to be how to send a message from the server to what's it called, one player. Then after that I'll show you guys server to all players, then player to server. Okay, so this is our join event, right? So you made your remote event, you named it and stuff. Let's go on over to server script service and enter a server script, right? This is going to be we'll call this our join script and put server, right? So we know the difference, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do game.players.player added connect function close parentheses then enter, right? This pretty much means this function will run every time a player joins, and then we can put PLR short for player in there, and then what we're going to do is put 2 spaces right here, enter twice. Then we're going to make a variable which is referencing the remote event we have. So we're going to do local join event is equal to game.replicated storage.join event, right? So just to let you guys know, remote events can be accessed by the server and the client if you couldn't already tell, just in case you guys are wondering that. But yeah, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to do join event, right? We're going to do fire client. See, here are the two different options. You have fire client, which means it'll fire, like it says, specified player, as in one player only. Then all clients, which means every single player that is currently inside of the game as soon as the remote event fires, I believe. I don't think the players have to be loaded, or character I should say, but I believe it should just be everyone that's currently in the game when the remote event is fired. But anyway, so join event fire client, right? And then we're going to fire the event for the player, right? Because you guys see us as the player that the remote event is being fired to. You have to pretty much tell the remote event who you want like the remote event to be fired, like the information to be sent to, I guess we'll say, right? So we're putting this player, right? You need to put the player's instance, right? And then you can put a comma and you can include information here, right? Like, I don't know, if you wanted to include let's say there were like variables that were only viewable on the server side, or that we only change on the server side, because you don't really want to have variables on the client side, because that would create a lot of issues. But yeah, and like you wanted to send over like the value of something, you could send over, you could do like you send over numbers, words, or let's say like I had a variable and stuff, I could be like I don't know, power dot value, like just an example. But yeah, So we're gonna send it to that player, right? So then we're gonna put a local script in starter player script, right? We're gonna put a local script and we'll call this our join script local, right? Local. And here's what we're gonna do. We can just copy and paste this. So we can just control C, control V over print hello world, enter twice. Then we can do join event, but instead this time we do on client event, right? Which means that this event is happening on the client. Connect function. Then here this is kind of different, right? Since we're receiving, because this is sending, right? For the sake, oh yeah, actually for teaching you guys, I want to utilize printing so you guys can see how it's like useful and stuff with teaching and stuff, and just generally like debugging, I'll say. So we can do print, and we can do what's it called? We'll say signal sent, right? This is pretty much saying, what's it called? That the remote event has been fired, right? Or actually no, we'll say event fired. That's better to use. Event fired, right? This means that it's been fired, right? So we'll click enter. So here, what's it called? So what's it called? Remote events on the client and on the server kind of work differently. So on the client, right, it's auto sending to the player, right? So like it's not gonna automatically send over the player. On the server, it'll automatically send over the player. It'll make more sense when I like get to the like server side part of it. But anyway, so what's it called? So pretty much we haven't sent over any information, right? This is just what we're sending it to, but we haven't sent over any information, right? If we did send over information, we would put it here, right? But yeah, so we're gonna do print. We're going to do remote. We're going to do remote event has been not released. Let's see. Remote event has been received. We'll say that. Remote event has been received. Player has joined, right? Now let's say we wanted to send over information for the client, right? We would need to do comma, then player.name, right? Then we would be sending over information, right? Then we could put player name, right? That's the information we're sending over, right? So then instead of right here player, what we could do is we could put a space right there. We could do player name, right? Dot dot, and then right there, player name has joined. So let's go ahead and click play, and let's watch the magic happen. As you guys can see, event has been fired, remote event has been received, Spider19 has joined. And as you guys can see the difference, you see the server is green, client is blue. You see, server, client, event fired, remote event has been received, player name has joined. There you go. That's how you send a remote event from the server to the client, right? Now, I will show you guys now how to send an event to all clients, right? So that was more of like, let's say like you're doing like a welcome message, right? Like when a player joins, you want a welcome message. It's like, hey, welcome to the game and stuff, right? That is what you would use Fire Client, like just the one client for. That's an example of what you would use. Let's say you wanted to send a message to all clients, all players in the game. I know some games have it where like they have it sometimes where like it'll announce to the entire server that a player has joined. So maybe you want to fire to all clients, right? Maybe you want to fire all clients, right? You want this to be sent to every single client, every single player currently in the game, right? There's no real need to test this because it doesn't really change anything and stuff. Like if you wanted to test it, you could like do a test and then you could like get multiple players and you would see how their remote event fires to everybody and stuff. But there's not really a point in really showing you guys. The whole point is of what I'm saying is this fire client sends to the specific player, right? The specified player, we should say, right? I should say, right? Now fire all clients, right? You wouldn't need this player, by the way. You wouldn't need this because you don't have to specify where you're sending it to because it knows it's sending to all clients. You would just need to put any information. As you guys can see, the arguments that would pass to all, right? By arguments, arguments pretty much means information, right? So yeah, and then that's how you send information from one client. From the server to one player or the server to all players. Now I'll get into talking about how to send information from the client to the server. So let's say you wanted to send information from the client to the server. Let's see. Let's see. I can't really think of any examples, to be honest with y'all. It's so weird too because honestly, the majority of the things I script for, usually it is using remote events from the client to the server. Um, damn. Hmm. Oh, okay. I have an example. Okay. So let's say when a player joins, they have a value, right? Let's enter, right? We can delete this whole thing, right? Leave obviously the first variable. Let's say we have local number. Every player has a number because remember this is local. This is a local script, which means it'll only be effective for this player. Local number is equal to 1. Everyone starts off with the default number of 1, right? And we're gonna have a while loop that says while true do. We're gonna have a wait, right? Do number equals number plus 1, right? Right. Let's say we had that, right? Now, this information is only accessible on, well, one, this specific script as well as this specific local script, right? Let's say we wanted to send this information over to the server for whatever reason, right? What we could do now is let's say when the number gets to a certain count, right? We're going to do this, right? We put it in an if statement. If number is if number is less if number is equal to 3, then join events, then you do fire server, right? And then you don't need to, obviously since you're firing to the server, you don't have to, there's nothing really specified because you're just firing to the server, right? You would just include any information. So you would send the number over, right? You would send the number over, right? Now we're gonna put an else, right? We're pretty much saying if the number is equal to anything else, but we can also put like a wait in between, right? So else, right? We're gonna do number is equal to number plus 1, right? So we're going to send over what's it called? Oh, let me put the wait. Let's see. Let me put the wait right here. I'm gonna put a wait simply because I don't want the server to crash. I don't want the server to crash. I'm gonna just put waits because I don't want the server to crash. But anyway, we'll put a print right here that says event fired, right? Then we can go on the server, and what we can do is instead we do join event dot on server event connect function. Now the first thing it sends over, what's it called? The first thing it sends over is the player. Like it automatically sends over the player. Like so, the first thing first you would put PLR, then you would do a comma, and then put any other information. It automatically sends over the player's instance, right? So you would already have that, which is pretty useful and stuff, right? So you wouldn't do like number, right? You would do PLR, short for player, then do number, right? So number, delete that, enter, and then let's say print number received. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Number received. The value is dot number, right? Oh, let's space it out, right? So we can go ahead and test this. Let's go ahead and click play. Right, wait for it, and there we go. Event fired. As you guys can see, well, obviously it'll keep running over and over again since the number is equal to 3. But anyway, yeah, the value is equal to 3. It says event fired, then it says number received, the value is number. So yeah, that's how you communicate between server and local scripts. I hope this video was helpful. Remote events are extremely useful. If you're confused, I 100% recommend doing research and just trying to really put time into trying to figure them out. They're extremely useful. Thank you guys for watching. Oh damn, I actually forgot. Happy Thanksgiving to anyone who celebrates everything. To anyone who celebrates Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. So I completely forgot to say that in the beginning of the video because I'm actually recording this video the day before Thanksgiving. So yeah, I completely forgot to say that. But happy Thanksgiving to anyone who celebrates it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. And what's called join the links. Join the Discord and Roblox group. Links can be found in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye.